There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, shrooms, everything. And it was just an escape for me. You have all these people around me just kind of hanging on, wanting stuff from me, knowing that, like, I was living this lifestyle that they also wanted to live, drinking.
Justin Bieber's comeback is blowing up again, and honestly, the way it's unfolding feels almost unreal. For years, Hollywood and its inner circles have been surrounded by rumors of hidden agendas and questionable behavior, with names like Diddy frequently coming up in conversations about young artists being pulled into dangerous environments. Despite all of that, certain power players seem to move freely, using influence and leverage to get what they want, often at the expense of others. What makes this moment different is that Bieber appears to be pushing back in a way most artists never do.
I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So, and we're going to go full crazy. Yeah, so as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, it's for yours. So, every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but come get the front shot.
Man.
Minute.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to be driving this.
Instead of staying silent or playing along, he's creating distance from the industry and signaling that he's no longer willing to ignore what many believe happens behind closed doors. That shift alone has people paying attention. More voices are speaking up about what they describe as a disturbing network of influential figures who shape young musicians under the guise of mentorship. These conversations are becoming louder, especially as artists and insiders describe patterns of control, manipulation, and exploitation that they believe have been normalized for decades.
I started valuing the wrong things in this business because there was things dangling in front of me. If I get this, I'll be happy. If I do this, I'll be happy. I never had that security in a family. I never had that consistency. I never had the reliability and the accountability and all these things that make you understand the way the world works.
Here's the full breakdown you don't want to miss.
Nobody ever tells you that, like, when you get to the top, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's just more of that. If you want it, I had ground and scraped and fought to make movies and to make the things that I wanted to make and to sell books and sell scripts. And I was doing all those things. And then I get there and I'm like a broken shell of myself with this relationship that threatened to sort of like truly like wreck my life. And I had done nothing to deserve that. And, I'm like, what is life? Like, I'm so backwards.
Even in an industry known for protecting powerful people accused of wrongdoing, the focus is slowly shifting toward protecting young artists instead. By separating himself from much of the industry, Bieber is showing that he's willing to confront topics others avoid. Many see this as a quiet but meaningful stand against alleged grooming dynamics and exploitative behavior that fans and insiders have been whispering about for years.
You wanted to do, you were doing, but you still weren't happy.
But I was, but I'm a victim. I'm a product, I should say, of these systems that we all survive in, which is, this sort of capitalist driven corporatocracy kind of driven way of merchandising and commercializing every thought and fear and moment that we have in our lives, and never giving us a chance to slow down. And when I was able to, I was on my way out, and I saw my kids and I saw them grown up, and
you really saw that.
Yes, I did. And I saw them asking me, just like a mature grown adult would say something very calmly without emotion, like, please don't.
At the same time, Jaguar Wright has been making explosive claims of her own. She has repeatedly alleged that Clive Davis, whom she describes as Diddy's mentor, played a major role in shaping and protecting him within Hollywood's most guarded circles. Wright goes even further, suggesting the existence of coded rituals and elite systems of protection, claims that remain unproven but continue to fuel intense online debate.
And your little dog, too. And congratulations, young man. Run as fast as Cassie did. But when you think about Kim, I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, Albie Shore, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only two left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas. And then the next thing you know, you want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. He said, the objective of Bad Boy is to kill talent. We don't want talented as a bad boy. Talented motherfuckers think they got to say. Oh, a talented motherfucker will tell you, I'm going to turn in my album when I feel like it. He said, but see, if we get people with no talent, and then we make them look like stars, see, we have total control. Because without us, they can't be the He said, and that's how we're going to run this label. And we're going to run these motherfuckers into the ground, and I'm going to make all of you rich. And that was his pep talk at the Kit Kat Club in 1996 to his interns, who are now mostly, executives at Bad.
Diddy's rise has long been followed by waves of accusations, including stories involving former partners, disturbing leaked audio, and attempts by online commentators to link him to other serious incidents. Yet despite the constant controversy, he continues to move through the industry seemingly untouched. According to Wright, Clive Davis allegedly played a critical role in shielding Diddy from deeper scrutiny.
He was doing shit to people that he never thought that it would come back at him. Now, if he never did anything to those girls, if those girls was lying, then he would have never settled out. It was a girl that came out, Cam, 2.5 years before Cassie came out, and went on a major platform and told him how he was kicking her, beating her, and made her get rid of 2 kids. A girl named Gina came out on a major platform that he was dating, that she had texts from Cassie, and her and Cassie was texting each other back and forth, and Cassie was saying, I don't hate you, I know how he is, and they was talking about each other and talking to each other. She came out 2 years ago. So you tell me, Cam, why didn't nobody take her case?
I don't. Maybe they didn't. I could guess. Maybe they didn't believe him because he's puffy. He got a lot of star power. He can fight back. You know.
She had no lawyers or nobody that was interested in going through that battle and that long, drawn-out court battle that they had to file papers. They had to do that 2-3 years ago. 2-3 years down the road, she ain't coming up with a dime. Cassie had the lawyers and the people who put the money behind the lawyers to make sure that her case was clam tight.
Even tying his influence to long-standing conspiracy theories surrounding other high-profile cases. While these claims have never been confirmed, they persist because many people believe there is a recurring pattern within Diddy's network that suggests protection, silence, and power working together. Many people now see Diddy as almost immune to consequences that would have ended the careers of most others in his position. When Jaguar Wright's narrative is placed alongside Justin Bieber's perspective, both seem to point in the same direction.
There are certain people that hang out with certain groups of people, and you see them. They're in pictures, they're on the red carpet, they're around. But then things start popping off. You don't see those people. They're not in those pictures. They're not on the red carpet. They're nowhere around. So where the hell were they? They're at every other party. They're in every other picture. They're standing by you everywhere else except for when this person went missing or this person got shot. You know, the art of misdirection is a skill that most record executives use. So considering that the public has absolutely no idea what's happening behind the curtain or behind the velvet rope, it gives them a great advantage to paint whatever story they want.
The suggestion is that Diddy's wealth and status may have come with an unspoken cost, potentially involving favors exchanged with powerful figures and the presence of well-known male celebrities who remain close to these circles for reasons that aren't fully explained. Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy is a major turning point in this discussion. As Wright frames it, that legal filing poured gasoline on suspicions that had already been circulating for years. It pushed many people to question whether Diddy could be connected to darker, illegal operations within the entertainment industry. Wright argues that much of the trafficking narrative comes directly from what Cassie described in her lawsuit, including allegations that she was taken across state lines and pressured or forced into intimate situations involving other people. Some try to dismiss those claims by pointing out that Cassie was his girlfriend, suggesting consent or participation. Wright strongly rejects that framing. Her argument is that real consent can't exist when the power imbalance is that extreme.
Taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that. Can't control it. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name.
Cassie was only 19 years old, while Diddy was far older, vastly more powerful, and in full control of her career. Many people summarize it bluntly by saying she was allegedly groomed by someone who held all the leverage. Wright acknowledges that Cassie may have experienced luxury and privilege through the relationship, but she also suggests that Diddy allegedly shaped her, broke her down emotionally, and locked her into a role she couldn't escape. Cassie wanted music, a career, and a chance to perform.
No, slow down. Let's slow down, Jess.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours. When when you get 16, you're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion? Yeah. So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where we go?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old.
Yet, according to Wright, those opportunities were controlled and used as leverage rather than support. Now that Cassie has chosen to speak publicly and take legal action, instead of receiving full support, she has faced backlash. Many critics question why she filed the lawsuit at all. But Wright frames it differently. She believes Cassie is simply demanding accountability and justice for what she says she endured. Jaguar Wright goes even further by claiming that Diddy's alleged ties to the Illuminati were quietly supported and protected by Clive Davis. In her view, that connection acts as a shield, insulating him from real consequences even as serious accusations continue to surface. She suggests this protection explains why so many allegations have failed to fully stick. After Wright's comments began circulating widely, Cat Williams added his voice to the discussion as well. He stated that he is completely convinced Diddy is involved in trafficking and argued that the entertainment industry can function as a pipeline for illegal activity. Williams claims that once artists become independent and stop relying on the system, they begin to see just how far powerful figures will go to maintain control and silence opposition. With more voices speaking out, the public is left questioning how deep Diddy's connections really run and what the hidden side of that success might look like if even part of these claims are true.
For the purposes of financial gain for those who have access to her estate, including Clive Davis.
Including Clive Davis.
Clive Davis. This ain't a film to celebrate Whitney Houston. This is a film to, pay the pipe.
He was the one trying to bring her back, though, at the time of prior to her death, right?
Fuck him.
Oh.
He needed her back.
Oh, yeah.
He needed her back, but he needed her back and under his control.
Williams echoed elements of Wright's narrative and expanded the conversation by mentioning other major names, including Will Smith, Steve Harvey, and Ludacris, suggesting that Hollywood's power structure may be far more layered than many are willing to admit. Adding to the tension, Mel Gibson has also entered the broader discussion, aligning himself with concerns being raised online. His comments have fueled the darker Hollywood narrative and reinforced warnings similar to those expressed by Bieber, Wright, and Williams. After the release of Sound of Freedom, a film many people often connect to these conversations, an older interview from 1998 featuring Mel Gibson resurfaced online. In that interview, Gibson spoke critically about what he described as Hollywood's darker underbelly.
Hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters. And
he didn't directly connect those comments to the film itself, but the movie's focus on child trafficking and secrecy sparked a massive online reaction, leading many people to draw their own connections between the interview, the film, and current industry discussions. In that interview, Gibson talked about Light eventually being forced into places that had remained hidden for far too long. He said the process would be painful, but necessary if real change was ever going to happen. Even the interviewer acknowledged how difficult it is to talk about topics like this within an industry built on comedy, glamour, and escapism, especially when, behind the scenes, there are ruined lives, long-term trauma, and damage most outsiders never see. People close to Gibson have said he has continued supporting Sound of Freedom in private circles and online spaces, helping keep the conversation alive where it spreads quickly. At the same time, podcast host and filmmaker Elijah Schaffer has publicly tried to connect Gibson's old comments to the themes of the film. Schaffer argues that Gibson may have been warning people years before these conversations became mainstream. In another interview that later appeared to be removed, Gibson said that when he first entered Hollywood, he had strange and paranoid suspicions, and over time, he felt some of his worst instincts were confirmed. Schaffer amplified that angle on social media, repeating Gibson's suggestion that some people in the business behave in ways that feel inhuman, even describing them as acting like demons. Those claims intensified the discussion and helped push Gibson's old words back into the spotlight. At this point, no one can say with certainty how much of what's circulating online is true.
Moving forward, I think that Light has definitely been shone into the dark regions, and it's painful, but it's a necessary thing for change. So there you go.
Do you agree, John?
Yeah, you can't help. It's an incredibly difficult thing to talk about in the context of a comedy interview.
Yeah.
Because there's very little that's comic about it.
Yeah.
You're seeing lives destroyed, but you're also seeing lives that have been deeply troubled for years. And it's
kind of a tragic healing process.
It's a big upheaval. I mean, I've never seen Hollywood quite so shaken by any.
But when figures like Cat Williams, Jaguar Wright, Justin Bieber, and Mel Gibson all appear in the same broader conversation, each adding their own perspective, it becomes easier to understand why so many people are hesitant to dismiss everything outright. That's where things stand for now. Do you think more voices are going to step forward and challenge the darker forces people claim still control Hollywood? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more breakdowns like this, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications to support Drama and Brief. More stories, more context, and more conversations are on the way.